Good day, good day, good day. How are you all doing? All of my caregivers and the supporters of caregivers. I hope you have invited your families and friends to this particular program. It is a keep living in your right mind moment. Yes, it is. I hope you have been also doing something for yourself as a caregiver this week. I hope you have scheduled yourself in on your calendar and make sure that you're taking time to keep yourself. As you're caring for your loved one, as your supporters are supporting you, you all should be doing something for yourself. And whatever that looks like for you, let that be the therapy for you that you need to navigate through this journey. I also want to make sure that you are also making the safest decision for you and your loved one. Whatever that looks like for you, make sure you're just making the safest decision. That is most important. And my last highlight of keep living in your right mind is always to encourage you to develop a support system. Develop a support system, create that support system, ask for help. And with those 3 points, you will be successful in this journey. Okay? Wow. Okay. I'm just so happy to be here today with you all. And before I actually jump into the topic for today, which is navigating the early phases of dementia. So even if you're watching this, make sure you hashtag replay, make sure you hashtag We Empower Network, make sure you hashtag keep living in your right mind and share with your friends and family that you know that may be experiencing this particular situation with their loved ones, and that they may need some encouragement and they just may need some caregiving 101 to help them navigate. Okay, before I jump into that topic though, I just want to just take this time, you all, to just give a really big shout out to the We Empower Morning Show. Do you hear me? They are knocking it out the box this season. I travel to work now. Bless my heart. Pray for me. But I listen to them in the morning. I don't always get a chance to comment, but I'm telling you, okay? I'm telling you, Steve Harvey ain't got nothing on the We Empower Network morning show. These ladies are just awesome. They're dropping nuggets. They giving you advice. Their testimonies are setting me free. The transparency on this show, I'm telling you, the transparency, and that's what happens. Transparency heals you all. It heals and it sets you free. So if you're not tuned in and you're not watching the We Empower Network morning show, you're missing out. You're missing out. You're missing out on what you need to propel you to the next level. You're missing out on advice and things that they're educating you on based on their experience, based on their background, things that they're sharing with you that you can't get anywhere else for free. Uh, okay? They're giving you all this information and encouraging you. This is on the morning show every morning at 7 a.m. Eastern. So I want you all to share with your friends and family. We Empower Network morning show. Get your coffee, get your tea, get your water, and join them in the morning because I'm telling you, they're doing something that's just outstanding for me. I don't care if it ain't for nobody else, but I'm getting what I need for myself. And who knew just by me knowing Terry Hits, yes, the wonderful anointed Terry Hits, just by me knowing her and her posting that they're looking for some additional programs on the network, that I will also come in contact with some wonderful, powerful women. You don't have to talk to powerful women every single day. They don't even really have to know you, but just to be able to really be encouraged by their words and what they're saying, by their attitudes, by their positivity. It's just awesome. It's just awesome. So I wanted to take a time and just shout them out and say, I appreciate you all. I appreciate for what y'all doing for me. If you ain't doing it for nobody else, you're doing it for Janae. Yes, for Mrs. Fine, for keep living in your right mind, caregivers advocate. You're doing it for me, and I appreciate it. I really do, and that's from the bottom of my heart. So you all tune in 7 o'clock every morning to We Empower Network, the morning show. Okay, yes. So let's get into our topic for today: navigating the early phases of dementia. And this is sometimes a topic that sometimes family members don't want to really discuss, or they, sometimes are in denial. Well, nothing is wrong with my mom or my dad or my aunt, or nothing is wrong, and sometimes we are in denial when it comes to the transitions of our loved ones, whatever that may be, whatever situation that may be. And it may just be that they're gracefully aging. They not diagnosed with anything. And it just may be that, hey, they're gracefully aging, but there's still some tips that I want to provide you today. Hi, Tina, that I want to provide you today to let you know that there are resources out there for you. And these are things that you should look for to help and guide you during the early phases. And I love to use one of my number one resources. I use this resource during my studies, obtaining my master's degree, and doing a lot of research in this particular area. So again, AARP/caregiving, they have a lot of resources, you all, and you don't have to be a member to obtain those resources. So we know that there are 6 million Americans today, and the number is rising, living with dementia. 6 million Americans living with that disease. So, what does that mean? There's probably double that many Americans that are caregivers and supporters that are trying to help the ones that are diagnosed with dementia, trying to help them navigate, and they're trying to navigate themselves. This has become their new normal. And so, with the numbers that continue to rise, I want to make sure that you are educated, that you have the tools you need, and sometimes that you just have simple advice. Through my transparency, me sharing with you my experience, that you just have the simple advice that you need to really navigate this particular journey. And I believe I am and a believer just like you are. So I am not dismissing the power of God, the power of healing. I'm not dismissing that at all. I continue to believe and believe that my mom was healed even in the journey itself. And we made her journey become our new normal and found ways to be joyful in that journey. That was the healing for us. So your healing may look different than what my healing was for our journey. So let's make it clear. I'm a believer in Jesus Christ. I believe his word 24/7. I want to just give you tools, though, to help you navigate as you continue your faith walk with God in this journey for your loved one. Okay? Is that good? I hope that's good, you all. But even with that information, I want to just explain to you, and some of you may say, well, I experienced my loved one, they are misplacing their keys often. And, well, Janae, I don't think that's really, a sign of them, getting ready to experience dementia or getting ready to get diagnosed for dementia. Well, dementia is the changes in the brain that causes a loss of functioning that interferes with daily life. So it diminishes your focus, it diminishes your attention, it diminishes your language skills. You may say, well, what does that really mean, Janae? I remember there was a time during the early phases of my mom experiencing these particular symptoms. that when I would call her, she would want to get off the phone sooner than normal. And, I would think to myself, Mom, she sure was rushing off that phone with me. And normally I call her and we just talk and talk and talk. But she would, for some reason, just want to just get off the phone. And even her friends would start to tell me, hey, Genea, I call your mom, but, she didn't stay on the phone too long with me this time. She wanted to just get off the phone. So that's an example of her attention was diminishing. The focus diminished. Their focus is not the same, like it used to be in previous years. Things that they would normally do, they may do it in a different way that seems to be more dramatic, or they may not want to continue with that same particular like hobby. My mom was always singing in the choir. It's different things that she just stopped having the desire to do. And those are also some symptoms and signs of the early stages of dementia. So, as you watch your loved ones gracefully age, watch for those symptoms. Watch for things like often replacing the keys, not just, oh, I misplaced the keys today and, I don't know what they are, but, they're just always misplacing something, or they're rearranging something in the house, or even they always want to leave. They always want to go. My mom wanted to go most of the time. And we were raised in Decatur, DeKalb County, and did not live that far from South DeKalb Mall. Well, back in the day, in the 70s, the 70s and 80s, yes, we could walk from our home to South DeKalb Mall. That was a normal thing to do. But, one day my mom in 2000 was walking to South DeKalb Mall, and that was not normal because things had changed. The same people were not living in the neighborhood as before. But thank God that she was able to return home safely. But things like that you start noticing and that you want to make note of, and you want to move to the next step. Go and make sure you make an appointment with her provider or their provider and start discussing what you're seeing at home. Don't stay in denial yourself because you just don't want to experience this with your loved one. Make sure you say, okay, let's make an appointment. Let's go to your provider. Let me explain to them what I am seeing, what I am noticing about you, and then let's get some help. Okay? Getting help, you all, is normal. It's not a bad thing. It doesn't mean you don't love your loved one. It doesn't mean you're giving up hope. It means you're what? You're making the best and safest decision for your loved one. So if you see different signs like that, make sure you're making a note of it and communicate it with your family. If you have siblings, if you have other family, her sisters or your parents, siblings, or your cousins, you need to communicate this with your family so that they will understand what's going on, what's happening, what does the transition really look like. So when you're at the next family event, they're not looking at your loved one or your parent like, well, what's going on with them? Why are they acting like that? Or why are they being so protective now of their parent? You need to communicate so everyone, even your children, everyone understands what is happening and what your parents are doing and transitioning to. That would be very helpful, you all. And when we come back, I'll give you some additional tips to help you navigate in this early stage of dementia. Okay?
Hi, guys. It's Tina Wynn, your host of the podcast, You See Me. I want you guys to stay encouraged, continue to come out and see me, and most importantly, see yourselves. Remember, the only way that you can truly enjoy life is to see other people so that you can enjoy the beauty of seeing yourself. Come join me Saturdays at 4 on the We Empowered Network. Thank you.
Hey, 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 how you guys doing? This is Regina Hutt, the wellness practitioner at Empower Mornings. Join me every Monday at noon to work out with Regina on One Network.
Awesome, awesome. Yes, please make sure you tune in to those programs on We Empower Network. Some other examples and signs that you may notice of your loved one in the early phases of dementia is just putting items in places that they, do not belong. For instance, eggs. Eggs belong in the refrigerator. But if you see them that now you go over to the home and you visit with them and now the eggs are in the cabinet, then that's another sign. That's another alert that should go off and say, okay, wait a minute now. I know my parent wouldn't do this. I know they know where the eggs belong. But for some reason, when I come over, they continue to have the eggs in the cabinet. And that's another point of just making sure, even if your loved one um, is living you by themselves. Make sure you are visiting and someone continues to stop by often. Sometimes we get so busy in life as we continue to age ourselves and we have so many hats that we're wearing. And sometimes you may not get a chance to stop by mom's house or dad's house or your aunt's house often and check on them during the week. But I would say make that a habit. Get with your support system that you're creating. And if you can't stop by, then have somebody else stop by. Yes, being attentive is most crucial, Tina. You are right. It is. Because the moment that you say, oh, I was over mom's house Sunday for dinner and I haven't been back over there since Wednesday, since Sunday, and now it's Wednesday, but I've been talking to her on the phone and she sounds good. And that may be true. But maybe she's doing stuff in the house, outside the house, that is just not normal. And that's something that you need to put your eyes on, something that you may need to also make sure that your neighbors are aware that, hey, if I notice my parents, sort of doing things different, can you also be my eyes to watch out for them, until you can determine what your new normal is going to be, how you're going to get them to a safe place. If you're moving them in with you, what does that transition look like for you? And another way you can do that is by installing cameras. And you may say, okay, well, hey, they're going to see me installing these cameras and they're going to feel like I'm invading their privacy. And you just have to communicate and explain that, hey, this is for your safety. I'm not always there. I have to work, mom or dad, but I just want to make sure you're safe. I want to make sure no one comes in here, and bother you. And I want to make sure I can see exactly if you're going in and out the house, because you may be at that point of a difficult situation when they're not really ready to give up their independence. And so you may have a struggle in the beginning. And I just want you to know the struggle is real and the struggle is normal in the beginning. But again, remember what I continue to say throughout this Keep Living in Your Right Mind platform and program. You have to make the most safest and best decision for you and your loved one. So you can install cameras and make sure that you're just keeping an eye on them during the day. You can also make sure you install Life 360, the app itself. I mentioned that before, but you can install that on their device, include them in your circle so that even your kids that are older in high school or your kids in college or your adult children, they can help you with making sure that your parents or your loved ones are being watched and are they cared for. If your dad got in the car one day and just said that he was going to ride down to Walmart, but perhaps he really forgot how to get back home once he got to Walmart. Those are things like that that you can monitor on your Life 360 app. You can tell how long they've been in one place or where they're traveling to and what their traveling history looks like. So those are things that I really advise that you do and you really work with your family. You may need to have a family meeting to start talking about things that you're noticing. And what you cannot do is diminish or dismiss what is happening. And I think that's what happened to a lot of us, even to myself in the beginning. I suffered with a lot of emotions because I just didn't want my mom to be like that. And I was praying and I was believing. I just didn't want my mom to be like that, you know? But I had to get to the place of, if this is going to be my new normal, how can I readjust? How can I retrain my mind and my emotions to think and feel different so I don't put myself in a state of depression? Okay. So I had to figure that out. And that's why I am passionate about this and giving you all these tips for you. I also want you to make sure, and I'll post this once after this program, I post a link to the virtual dementia tour. There's a tour that you can sign up and that you can register for, and you can go on this virtual dementia tour. This tour is awesome, you all. You may say, well, Janae, I still don't think, this is a situation for my loved one. I just think they're gracefully Asian and they just, sort of forget every now and then. Go and register for this virtual dementia tour. And I'm telling you, it's going to change your perspective. It's going to really turn on that light bulb and let you see for yourself what a person with dementia, how they're feeling, what they're actually experiencing on a day by day basis. And I'll give you a quick example, just the little sounds that we hear during the day. We may hear sounds of sirens, of the EMT or the fire department. We may hear the television may be on. We may hear the notifications on our devices going on, bing, bing, or ding, ding. I'm sorry, not bing, ding, ding. Okay, we may hear all those different sounds, but to them, someone that is in the early phases of dementia or experiencing that particular disease, all of that noise sounds like just a cloud of rushing noise coming towards them. They can't distinguish the sounds like we can. I know what the notification, the ding on my phone sounds like. But to them, all of that is just one complete noise that is loud, that is frustrating them, that's making them feel confused. Okay. So you need to really experience and register for this tour. This will be awesome for you to give you a different perspective. It's gonna give you empathy that you may not have right now because you're just wondering, why are you acting like this? Why are you, saying things that are different, that are not normal? It's going to wake you up and allow you to understand that your loved one, they don't want to be like this. They don't want to feel like this. You know, they are frustrated just as well as you are frustrated. You know, they are confused just like you are confused. Okay. So that's a very good tip, you all. And I want to go on to say my third and fourth tip is really combining the do's and the don'ts together. Don't fuss with your loved one. If they are experiencing the early stages of dementia, don't fuss with them. Don't go back and forth. Okay? Don't ask them, well, why are you doing this? Well, why are you feeling like this? Well, why are you crying? Don't ask them or say things to them like, you don't remember? You don't recall? Mom, I know you remember. Mom, you just told me that. Dad, I heard that story 10 times. Do not say things like that to your loved ones. They are clueless just like you. Bless their hearts. They are having a mental breakdown, a struggle, just like you. They don't understand why they're feeling the way that they're feeling. They just know that they are different and they're trying to make themselves feel right. They're trying to make it right with themselves on the inside. But here you go with all your questions. Well, why are you acting like that? Well, why you ask me that again? Don't feel like that. Don't diminish their emotions. Don't dismiss how they're feeling because you don't want anyone to dismiss how you're going to feel and how you're going to continue to feel in this journey. Apply respect. Remember that they're your loved one, whether it's your mom, your dad, your brother, your sister, your aunt. Respect them even in this journey, even on days when it get difficult, even when you don't understand why. How could my intelligent mom act like this? Why is she crying all the time? Why is she crying all the time? Why she can't remember? Respect them because they want to remember. They want to feel normal again. But this is the process, and this is becoming the new normal that you got to figure out what's going to be the best, safest way for you all to navigate this journey together. Okay. I also want to let you know some of the additional do's that you should do. Safety locks are important. Well, I don't want to lock my mom in the house or my dad in the house, but safety locks on the doors, safety locks on the cabinets. Again, I mentioned this before. Again, their cognitive skills are impaired. So you cutting an apple is not the same as how they cut the apple in the past. So leaving sharp objects out is not a good thing to do. A lot of dementia patients experience violent thoughts. They do. And so I did not experience that. We did not experience that. But I'm just explaining to you that is what happens sometimes. Okay. So you have to remember those sharp objects, things that can be used as a weapon, you need to remove those things. Okay. I really advise that you do that. You need to really consult with your physician. You need to get with your physician. You need to get a diagnosis or testing done. And then you need to ask them while you're at that doctor's appointment, you have paid your copay or used their particular benefits. It is your right to ask for additional services and resources while you're at that appointment. And I just want to let you know and give you some reassurance that wherever your loved one is at during this phase of dementia, wherever they at, some days my mom, may have thought she was in Hawaii. I don't know. But you know what? I was in Hawaii right there with her. Hey, halua, halua, hey, all of that. I was right there with her. Okay. So wherever she's at here, I want you to start practicing to be in that same place in that same moment with them. No need to tell them right from wrong, you all. No need to try to explain to them right from wrong. Okay. That is just null and void going forward. Okay. So you have to remember they are just as frustrated as you, but you find out the resources, you find the help that you need to navigate this journey, and you will be successful. You're going to have moments where you just want to scream, and I advise you to just scream. You're going to have moments where you just want to get in your car and drive. Get in your car and drive. Cry it out. Release it. Whatever you need to do. But at the end of the day, get you the right resources that you need. Ask questions with their physicians. Get them the help that they need. Create you a support system and take care of yourself all at the same time. I hope this has been helpful for you. Please share it with your fans. I mean, your fans, with your family and friends, and keep living in your right mind. Talk to you soon.